uh, Dokkan's really funny. No special intro here. No intro, no nothing. They shadow drop. No, they didn't really shadow drop. They tweeted this out basically the exact same time the data download dropped. I was gonna make a video on Exchange Boo's EZA details when the data download dropped anyway, because I was really tired when they dropped last night, and I thought the data download was gonna happen earlier, and it didn't. But I'm glad I waited, because now we have King. Jesus Christ himself arose on the third day, and he is back to terrorize Dokkan Twitter and your boxes for the rest of time. This man will never age. He will be here forever. You will never not know the name TEQ Ultimate Gohan. But before we start talking about TEQ Ultimate Gohan, let's go ahead, switch on over to the global version so that way we can actually read their information, because they are actually live. Not really live, but like their data is in the game. Right, so for TEQ Exchange Boo, who I was going to talk about anyway and just didn't, right? The super attack, 50% attack and 30% defense on super attack, which is good. He plus 3 in attack and defense 150%, plus an additional attack plus 50% when performing a super attack, solid. This is where all of the Exchange Boo variants are really, really good. Their damage reduction is now 40% baseline and an additional 30% when there's another Majin Power category ally attacking in the same turn, which is literally a non-issue because this guy's best partner, who is also on pretty much every single team, is actually the new Intabu, obviously. So you don't really have to worry about that literally at all. They get an additional attack and defense 50% when there are no Majin Power category enemies. That's kind of bad, because as of right now, Majin Power is getting a red zone, so you're not going to be able to activate that in the brand new red zone, but you will be able to activate that in like Gogeta and stuff. And then you go ahead and you change into Evil Boo. Evil Boo gets 50% attack and 30% defense for 3 turns, and Seal Super Attack, which is good. They get Key plus 3, attack 200%, and defense was 150% at the start of turn. An additional attack plus 70% when performing a super attack. They have the exact same damage reduction, 40%, and then another 30% with a Majin Power ally on the turn. Then they get an additional attack and even 50% when there's no Majin Power category enemies. They have a 70% chance of stunning the attacked enemy, and then they also have a 50% chance of dodging. So genuinely, this form is really, really good. What I do like about not only this guy, but also the Int Super Saiyan Gotenks, is that they made it so that if you are unable to transform into them right away, that they're not losers, which I do think is a good thing. Now, granted, this guy is still quite good. He's going to be able to get the job done even if you're not able to transform. But when you do transform into Super Boo, you get 100% attack and 50% defense for 3 turns, which is insane and sealing. He gets Key 4 and 250% attack and 200% defense at the start of turn, which is really good. He gets an additional attack was 100% performing a super attack, so he will be hitting decent numbers once he starts getting these stacks in. He gets 50% damage reduction instead of 40, and then another 20% when there's a Majin Power category ally attacking in the same turn. Still 70% damage reduction in total, so he's going to be completely fine against the majority of things in the entire game. And then he gets an additional attack plus 50% and chance of performing a critical hit plus 25% per Rainbow Key Sphere obtains. You do not need to give this guy crit at all. Full additional, full dodge on this guy. You do not need any crit on this man. If I see y'all with full crit builds on this guy, we will have problems. It's just what's going to happen. This guy's ridiculous. His calcs are already out. They've been out for about a day or so. He gets to about 1 million defense capping out, which is really, really strong, especially the fact that he has 70% damage reduction. He's really not going to be taking damage from pretty much anything. Also keep in mind how ludicrous his EZA stats are, so he's going to be helping the team out in general. He's very, very, very good. However, who he is not, and who he is now competing with, is the god himself, TEQ Ultimate Gohan. The super attack, all they did was give him the ability to lower enemy attack. That's all they did. At the start of turn, he now gets Key plus 3 and attack and even 158%, where before he only got 140 and then he had to build up Key. He no longer has to build up his Key, he just gets it, which is really good because his Key links are not great, especially right now. But they only gave him another 18% attack and defense at the start of turn. So they really tried to hold back on like buffing this guy, obviously because he's ridiculous, right? Then, this is the part I really like. On his first turn, he gets an additional 58% defense and 30% damage reduction. That's really, really good, solely because what that's going to allow him to do is get the stacks that he needs immediately. He's not going to have to worry about being really weak turn 1 because he's going to have that damage reduction, he's going to have a little extra defense, so you're going to be able to slot him in slot 2, and he'll be able to build up without any real worry. He also launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. Amazing. Then he launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack starting from the turn in which the character performs the third attack in battle. That should activate immediately the second he does 3 attacks. So if you have this guy additional, and say for instance, he does his regular super attack, then he does this 70% super attack. Then depending on how much additional you have, remember it's going to roll twice because of the 2 guaranteed attacks, more than likely you're going to be able to pop that. If it's a super attack, which is great for his defensive stacking. It doesn't need to be, but it is good if you get the stacks. That's 3 stacks already. He will then do another attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. So you could potentially greatly stack defense 4 times on turn 1. Amazing. He has his guaranteed guard still, and then he gets an additional attack plus 58% within the same turn, and an additional attack plus 58% for 3 turns when guard is active. So that's when he gets hit. Really, really, really good. People are already downplaying him, and that's just because it's fun to hate this guy, but he is going to be ridiculous. He is by far the best EZA TQ in the game. People are happy that he doesn't really have any good 200% leads right now, which I guess is fair. I mean, he's on boos, but like you're not going to... I don't think you'd really run boo on this guy's team. It's not really like a place for him, but he is legitimately ridiculous. I don't think he's going to need it. We've already seen calcs for him. If you super attack 4 times turn 1, he's already over 1 million defense. It's already over 1 million. And then next turn, he's going to get even stronger and stronger and stronger. His stacking is going to go through the roof. Amazing unit. Now, if you ever decide to transform with him, which, again, I think it's going to play out very similarly to how he was before. Can I not change? Where most of the time, you're just not going to, because you're just going to want to keep stacking anyway. But, like, if you really needed the damage, Ultimate Gohan comes out. He gets 50% attacking defense for 3 turns and a great chance of stunning the enemy, which is really, really good. Pretty sure, what, was that the exact same? Oh, no, he just gets defense now, and it's for 3 turns instead of 1 turn. So, it's a bit better. Then, he gets... He gets key plus 3 in attacking defense, 250%, which is really good. He still has his guaranteed guard. He's a guaranteed additional super attack. He gets an additional attack plus 58% for the rest of battle, and super effective against all types after he gets hit once, right? Amazing. And then he gets a guaranteed crit when facing only 1 enemy whose HP is 58% or more, and when that's left over, right? That he already had that. But the fact that he's able to basically triple super guaranteed to get this after you've already been stacking up the entirety of the fight, so he's going to have like 2 million defense plus with guard and super effective against all types. Like, you see what I mean? Like, he's disgusting. He's going to have well over 2 million defense. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, but raw defense isn't enough to take. When you have more defense than the entire enemy attack number, you're fine. And even units, some people might say, oh, what about the character, or like the fights like Blue Evolution Vegeta, where he lowers your defense? That doesn't take from the stacked pool of defense. He's still going to have like 2 million plus defense stacked up. It doesn't matter. This guy's ridiculous. He drops on the 8th. I'm so ready for that. This guy is legitimately insanely strong. Love it so goddamn much. Then we have the EZA for Boo and Bobbity, who we already knew was coming, but it is nice to now see them in game, see what they do. Lowering the hype down. Because of Tech Ultimate Gohan, he's the king. If you deny that, you're just wrong. It is what it is. Boo and Bobbity, they're 12 key. 30% attack and defense, 50% chance to seal and stun. Pretty cool. 18 key, 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, high chance to seal and stun. Sick. Key plus 5, attack and defense 150%, plus an additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super attack. Solid. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. Pretty good. 50% chance to dodge. We take those. Plus an additional key plus 3 in attack and defense 50%, and launches an additional super attack when the target enemy is attack down, defense down, stun, or sealed. Solid. Plus an additional key plus 3 in all enemies attack minus 20% for 4 turns after evading an attack. That's actually a really cool mechanic. I do like that. Definitely go full dodge on this unit, by the way. They can quad super technically, but like you give them like 15 additional and they should be fine. The rest is the dodge. And then they get 10% HP if they end up getting hit at the end of the turn, which is pretty cool. Remember that they do link up really, really well with the Bobbity Nabura, who did also EZA. This rotation as like a combo on like a super battle road stage would go really, really hard. Do they have a 200%? They do. They're on boost 200% lead. So yeah, pair this guy up with Dabura and Babidi, and you have a really solid like Super Battle Road rotation, they'll be completely fine. I do think that is good to have. A lot of characters in the game, right, being designed specifically for Super Battle Road or things where you can debuff is interesting, but it's not really like something that we need really badly. But it is cool to have in general. But now if we switch back over to the JP side, as you guys may have saw there, we do have a new LR. This actually is the awakening of the character that we've been getting like periodically throughout the year. This is Goku, and this is a Goku, Gohan, and Bulma, specifically from when they went to find the Dragon Ball in the Pirates Cove and they had to fight General Blue. I really, really, really like this card. I love the card art. I think this is really cool. Big fan of this, especially because I recently watched all of OG Dragon Ball. It's like, it just makes me really happy. I do have their information pulled up here, though we can see from their super attack that they get 50% attack and defense on both super attacks, and this one seems to give 30% attack and defense to allies, which is good. Or 30% attack to allies, so they're solid. What they do specifically is, when they have 2 or more allies in either the youth or Earthbred Fighter category, they will trigger their intro, which gives them attack and defense plus 82% for 4 turns at the start of turn, which is good. They get an additional super attack, or on super attack, they get attack and defense 77%. And then they give all allies except for themselves in the youth category 30% attack. If you do an 18 key super attack, though, they will give all Earthbred Fighter category allies except from themselves 30% defense. So they're like a kind of pseudo support character. For each ally in the youth category, you get key plus 1 and attack and defense 17%, which is good. And the chance of critting is increased by 70%. So you don't really need to put crit on this guy, you can just go full dodge, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys already have done that anyway. Then, for every single other ally in the Earthbred Fighter category participating in the turn, right, they get attack and defense of 77%. Or actually, when there is basically another Earthbred Fighter category ally. So you want your team to be built around youth and Earthbred Fighters, which is pretty easy. I don't think there's really any youth characters that aren't Earthbred Fighters. There's the kid Vegetas, right? But like, you're not really using those. And this is all, I believe, all happening when you have a youth category ally the Earthbred Fighter category ally in the turn. No one has translated this card for some reason, so I'm just riffing off of what the general translation gave me here. That they get the 77% attack and defense. They get a guaranteed additional attack that has a medium chance of performing a super attack, and they get a medium chance of dodging. So pretty good. They do also have an active skill, which I believe is this one. No, where is it? I had it pulled up. Is this? Yeah, there we go. It's able to be used when HP is over 50%, or when all allies participating in the attack are in the youth category, are a super class. So if you have a full super classic youth rotation, you're able to use this, or if your HP is, or if you have an enemy whose HP is over 50%. It's very weird, but it is what it is. But it's a pretty decent active skill. It gives them an additional 30% dodge chance, and then nullifies actions of the target enemy once during the turn. That's pretty good. I'm pretty sure that means it's a Ghost Usher. Either that's a Ghost Usher or it's an action break, because the animation for it is just Bulma like being like trying to riz the enemy. So I don't know if this is going to count as an action break or as like because I don't know if it's an attack. That's like the one thing. Because like, what does it say if I translate this version of it? Yeah, nullifies the action of one target enemy for that turn only. I'm going to assume this is a Ghost Usher. Right. I'm pretty sure that's what this means. But they also get 30% dodge chance. I guess that's if you're in a fight that has multiple enemies, right? One enemy will be Ghost Ushered, the other one you'll have 80% chance to dodge against them, I'm pretty sure, because they have medium chance? Oh, they might have 60% chance to dodge then. I keep losing this because like I would love for someone to just have translated this stuff, but they just didn't. Oh yeah, you'll have, this is a 30%, so you're gonna have, I'm pretty sure medium is either 30 or 40%. Either way, they're gonna have 60-70% chance to dodge on their active skill turn, and it's potentially a Ghost Usher from what I'm seeing here. They're pretty cool. I like their card art the most. I'm just happy to have this as like a thing in the game. I'm really excited for this specifically. When does this drop? The 8th as well? It also drops on the 8th. People are saying that this kind of gets rid of the chance of having like a Dragon Ball Saga celebration, but remember, this unit is probably going to easy A. So just keep that in mind. I think this character is incredibly cool. I like them a lot. Let me know what you guys think of every single one of these new characters. Obviously, Exchange Boo, you guys have had plenty of time to form an opinion out, and he drops literally in a couple hours, so there's that. So, again, let me know how you guys feel about all this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.